Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. All three of us are here. The Trilobe is in the house, and we've got a bit of a fun topic tonight, haven't we, gents?
Yeah, I guess so. How to deal with the Necron menace, as it were, Aiden's Aiden's favourite robots.
Oh, you know how much I love them.
And how are you both? Aiden, what have you been up to?
Not too bad. So I've not been doing so much hobby. I have, as I was just saying to you, then I've got a driving test coming up in the next few weeks. So I have been trying to get as much sort of practice and testing as I can for that. So I mean the worst bit is, I'm at ITT in two weekends. So no, 3 weekends, and everyone else on my team is like practicing from there, making lists. And I'm just like, guys, I just can't at the moment.
I've got other stuff to do. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a no offense, Vanguard Tactics, but this driving test is far more important than a silly tournament with toys. So, but they understand that.
Well, also, if you want me to come to more tournaments further away.
Yes, it is. It is a small sacrifice for now for a large game in the future.
Yes.
So yeah, part of that. So half a mix of like happy that I could, like, the 6 month wait for the test is almost over. And then the other half is like absolutely kicking my pants because, driving test. So, but yeah,
it's gonna be great, mate.
Hobby front though, I have been chipping away at a little bit of painting. I've just been working on some Votan, and I've got a weird hankering to paint CSM as well. I don't know why. I just like chaos, I think. Part of that though, still playing a few games here and there when I can get them in. Still really enjoying Taliband, but I do have to finish off the challenge with Mortarion's hammer, so I'll have to get that one done soon.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Mr. Will?
No, not much. Just sort of settling back into the new year now. I mean, last week was sort of I don't know. It's not really. It doesn't really feel like you're back to work. Whereas this week's definitely being back to normal a bit. And then I've been playing. Basically, just playing the French list, like Albans list, with one bloke drone swap for two casters, because I just find that sort of works a bit better. I've got a team tournament coming up the week before ITT at Element Games, so we're just practicing for that really. And then after that, I'm going to have to put 10 blight loads on the table because it's everywhere now, isn't it? It seems to have become like the meta. I can't in my head sort of picture how it works to be anything more than just probably what it is. It's just 700 point stands in the middle and just sort of like exists as long as it can while the rest of your army tries to win the game around them. But yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, no, not a lot going on really. And then like I say, not much. Anything happening in the chat, by the way, before we dive into this?
So we've got got obviously a few people here, which is awesome to see.
Got the regulars.
Rug is saying that basically our stream is entirely pointless because he's figured out the trick to beat Catan, and that is the title of the stream to yeet their Catan into the nearest bin when they're not looking, which is a very valid tactic. I won't deny that is a great tactic. It does work.
The sweep.
But they are correct. Talk about 20 Poxwalkers keeping Catan controlled. Yep, good shout. But part of that is just everyone sort of saying hello, saying how you doing. Someone confused by a driving test. Yes, driving test. Grey Cube also asking, in the UK, is part of the driving test knowing which hand to hold the lager in? So for me, that would probably be a cocktail.
UK you're from.
I'm not a beer drinker, me, so it would be probably like a friggin' pina colada or something fruity.
For those of our viewers not in the UK, or that, there is a slight kind of urban misstroke thing, but it was kind of a poster that existed, which was I don't know if because you guys drive in the US and that you drive kind of shift. But on our gear sticks in the UK, we used to have, in like manual cars, and some older ones still do, would have a gear lever down lower that on the top had a pattern for like first, second, third, fourth, fifth gear. And there was a poster that said, "Don't have that fifth pint." And it was basically an old set from the 70s. It is absolutely amazing. And it's basically like back then people being like, four's all right to drive with.
Four's fine.
Don't have the fifth. It's just like, what are you talking about? But yeah, it depends what lager, and also the real question is what lager it is, or or IPA or ale. That's the main thing. Or driving, you can pass or fail it based on whether they think you've got good taste or not.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to remind that when I go into the test. That makes sense. But no, chat's some good. What about yourself, Mr. Dave? Anything interesting going on?
I've come into January with doing some exercise, so I've decided I'm getting back to kind of that. So I know it's a bit cliche, but I've been doing that. Dropped a kilo in a week,
Oh,
which
wow,
has been
done.
good. So yeah, I've been doing that, and just on the side product of tabletoptickets.com, I've got all the Vanguard Tactics events for the whole year are on there now.
Nice.
And the RTT completely sold out on it in January, and then the January event coming up is mostly sold out. And there's one in February, March, April, May, all that, which is good. And then something to talk about with I'll tell you guys about kind of off of this stream. Something else I'm gonna start up as well.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
all Warhammer related. So just while I've got some time to kind of think about it and do some bits on this stuff. Yeah, it's going to be good for us, and another bit of personal expansion.
Excellent.
Good.
Sounds really good, man. So, quick reminder as well to the chat: if you do enjoy the podcast, the content we do on here, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe, or consider becoming a member. Member starts from as little as $2.99 a month, gets you into our Discord. We have an awesome community, tons of people always talking about Death Guard stuff, making lists, all that kind of good stuff, helping each other. So give it a consider, and just leave a like and a comment. It really helps.
Yep.
Right, enough shilling out of the way. So, main topic of tonight, we'll jump straight into this one. I don't know if you guys have spotted, something happened this week with Necron changes kind of being sort of semi-legal. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more next week, and that is they're already winning events.
Ooh, surprise.
Yeah, and it's, there's a few lists that are doing pretty well, but we've already seen the Necrons rise to the top, and we've saw surprise Space Marines still good even with 3 wound Victrix. Obviously, Nottingham over here was still 4 wound Victrix, but still, throwing the 3 wounds, it's still looking like Marines are going to be good. But Necrons are going to be around the place, shall we say, and they are going to be including a fair few models. So I don't know if anyone knows a little channel called Tactical Tortoise, but I'm just going to take us over to this screen here. This what you see on the screen right now, everybody. For people at home, don't worry who are not listening on video. I'll explain it to you. This is a list that won an event. Now, it is incorrectly titled here. It does say Death Guard. It is not Death Guard, obviously. It has stinky robots on it. So this is from Tactical Tortoise. So again, go check out his YouTube channel. Thank you very much for doing your sort of weekly event recaps. Really appreciate it. So we took that screen from there. This is a Necron list that has won an event. I think it was an American event. But guys, what do you notice about this this list that's on screen right now? And it's also sent in WhatsApp. I think
it's there's an obvious thing, right? It's the massive volume of units.
Oh yeah. This is actually
Kaku Command Barge, isn't it? Kaku Command Barge meta, is that what we're going to move into?
This is all about teching for the Command Barge.
Yeah, so people again who can't see, this entire Necron list that won an event is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models. Literally 8 models, not 8 units, models. And that includes leading the charge, a Catacomb Command Barge. And then we have every single Catan named shard. So Deceiver, Nightbringer, Void Dragon. They are playing Pantheon of Woe, so they do have to take their mandatory enhancements. It's not a choice. They have to take them. So this is Advance and Charge on the Nightbringer, Vector on the Deceiver, and the Void Dragon gets some weird stuff to do with vehicles. It's not very good his. And then Transcendent, and then 2 Transcendent Catan. So that is a total of 5 Catans, a Command Barge, and 2 Triarch Stalkers. So quite literally 8 units, which is a bit absurd. And out of the 8 units, 5 of them are Catan. And this won an event. Now, does that mean this list is about to completely win every single event everywhere? No. It might. I don't know. I can't see into the future. I really hope not. But we aren't Mystic Meg here. Unfortunately, we can't see into the future. But we here at the System Resilient Podcast, here at DRP, we like to doom prep. We like to take things to the extreme. So we set ourselves, between our guys, a challenge last week after the stream went off, that we're going to imagine this is a world where 90% of the meta is taken up by this exact list. This is 90% of your games at the tabletop. It is all you're going to play. Or, as Dave said, what did you say pre-stream, Dave? It was great.
I said it's like you go to club and there's that one prick who plays Necrons and puts this on the table, and how are you going to ruin his day?
Yeah, so we have challenged ourselves to try and make a anti-Catan list. Now, how that's gone. I'm not sure. We haven't actually shared each other's because we wanted to kind of keep it a little secret between us, so we could kind of surprise each other with what we're going to be taking. But yeah, just be aware. This is what we're trying to beat. This is the pinnacle of Necron degeneracy. So I don't know who wants to kickstart us off. I don't know if chat has any feelings on this list here.
I don't know if mine's going to be very good thinking about it. I tried to actually kill them, which I think might be the mistake.
It is.
Well, I think it's fine because it's how we. I've certainly written mine from what I think my play style would be against it. I've tried not to be clever.
It's definitely a list, this one. So where did you start off, Will? So we start right at the start. Go for the.
We go with mine army, right?
We'll go for those. Just very quickly, we've got a $10 super chat from Dazza0187. Thank you so much, mate, for the £10 super
Thank
chat.
you very much.
I've been mostly playing Chaos Demons lately, and better opponents seem to have no issue dealing with Bellicor and other greater demons. I am confused why people are freaking out about a Catan. Okay, the main problem is, unlike your demons, the Catan are -1 damage permanently, 5 up, feel no pain, and if you don't kill them, they start to heal.
They always have a 3+ save down to a 4+ like Bellicor.
Yes, so
like the great demons.
Yeah, so any chip, bolt or wounds, they have a better chance to save on them. But the main thing is it's the healing, and the fact of the matter is how the Necron playstyle is, which is if you fail to kill one of these things and bounce, you're then going to lose the unit that's tried to kill it. And now you don't have that unit, and it just escalates the problem because then the one you've just tried to kill. It's not like you got. Let's for example, Will goes in to kill a Scarbrand. So he rolls bad. He leaves Scarbrand on 2 wounds. That's bad. Mm-hmm. But at least in Will's matchup, he knows Scarbrand's on 2 wounds. A random grenade can pick off Scarbrand at some point. Not only does this guy have a feel no pain, so again the grenade might even pick him off, but he can also then heal in his turn. There are multiple detachments for Necrons which can heal again. He could play Hypercrypt, just pick him off the board, put him back in his deployment zone behind a building, heal for 2 turns next to a reanimator, get back 8 wounds, and then come back out to play with another uppy downy. It's so much worse than any kind of greater demon. And it's the combination of -1 damage, 4 up invulnerable, and 5 up feel no pain. And just to clarify this for the chat as well, and why this is so hard to kill. It has the perfect combination of rules to protect it against the threats that threaten it. So if it didn't have the feel no pain, for example, and it just had -1 damage and invulnerable, it would be very vulnerable to -1 damage, quantity of shot kind of things. Or damage 2, for example. No, damage 1. But the feel no pain sort of helps it, and the regeneration also helps it, because you can't chip it down. It has the heal. So chipping it down doesn't work. Now, if you're firing low quantity, high quality shooting it, like las cannons and stuff, it's got a 4 up invulnerable, it then has a 5 up feel no pain, so it's really hard to get through it. And if you try to go in the middle of it, where you bring good quality shooting with quantity, which is a lot of often damage 2, damage 3 shooting, you get absolutely boned over by -1 damage. It is absolutely brutal. So yeah, that just be aware. So this list, it did come 3rd at the event, but it was undefeated. And it had scores of
scores.
Go on, Dave. You share them scores, buddy.
Okay. I just dug it out because someone asked in chat. So it was Ted Williamson, and it was basically 100, 100, 94, 92, 88.
Yeah,
all wins.
Great.
How many players? This was a small event, though, wasn't it? I remember
it was 92 players.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, fair play.
The event was actually won by Astra Militarum, Space Marines. Well, it was undefeated, but yeah,
it's the top 3 in the meta, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, but if you look at the scores, he actually scored more, but differential was probably not as high.
Maybe it's down to maybe they do win path or something like that.
So probably something like that. But it was so really interesting. But
so,
undefeated and very strong.
So scary.
Well, we'll just look at this. So just really quickly, the 4th place was Death Guard.
Yay!
So well done to Aaron Hempstead of Midwest Monstars. He won 4 out of 5 games. So well done.
Nice. What was his list? What was his attachment?
Oh, really quickly. Sorry, I don't want to derail this. Hang on, I'm just opening it. He played Flyblown Host.
What Chad?
What a legend. His army list was called "I had a picnic in Nelgor's garden and flies were all over my BLTs."
I like it.
That's quite good.
Love it.
Yeah, not to derail this, but yeah, if anyone wants to know what the list is, I can share it later.
Yeah, that's no worries.
Nice.
Okay, so Mr.
Well done, though.
Will, then, where did you start for your detachment choice against this menace of a list?
I actually started in Mortarion's Hammer, but then have moved to Champions of Contagion at the end of it.
I did Morty's hammer.
Oh, yes, we've got three different
there you
detachments.
go.
Get in.
That would have been boring.
No, I moved to Champions. So I wrote the list. I won't lie, I actually just wrote this list because it just happened that I think it would do well into Necrons. I was just thinking like what would be the sort of like the Morty's Hammer if you didn't if you swapped the PBCs for Predators, just what did it look like? And then I was thinking about this challenge. I thought it's actually pretty good into this. So the original version was the basically I'll read out the current version basically. So the original version had less stuff, but then I thought Champions of Contagion's a bit better because then the Death Shroud probably actually like I don't think they kill a Catan, but they can probably finish off a damaged Catan quite reliably if you've got some
Zito
CPs
did
in
the
bank.
maths on it, and it's an average, I think, 12 damage if you have the full 3 command point combo into a Catan and you sweep with everything, which is really good. Like 12 damage into a Catan, like you just managed to get those 4 off from some of the means, a grenade, some bit of shooting. Yeah, they can. And if it's a 6-man, it just flat out kills it. Like it has like 190% chance to just kill it. So yeah.
Okay, so I'll run through the list that I finished then. So 3 Blight Launcher drones, pretty standard. 3 single Mephitic Blight Haulers, again, pretty standard. What has ended up in all my lists recently, realised is kind of the core to play the game. 2 Poxwalker squads, 2 10s, a Tallyman, and a squad of 2 Spawn. Then I put the 2 Predators in. The 2 Predators, Predator Destructors, feel a bit kind of... I'm not sure. I think the auto cannons aren't particularly great into them. Although it's still flat 3 damage, you know what I mean? Like, it all adds up. But the last cannons I thought were meaningful. And then 2 squads of Death Shrouds led by a Lord of Contagion. Then a Lord of Virulence with 3 Blight Lord Terminators and 15 points spare at the end. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So I don't know.
What's the thinking with it, Will? What's your...
I just thought it was stuff that had high damage. It wasn't really that thought out. Because like I say, I was originally sort of thinking of a different concept, and I sort of thought, well, there's a lot of at least 3 damage across the various different shooting platforms. Because I figured if you get him in Contagion, 3 Blight Launcher drones, re-rolling hits are actually... You might even bring them down just with 3 if you get lucky on the shots. Because obviously it's reduced it to 2. If you sort of like get enough food. It did seem unlikely though, but I felt like just in the shooting phase, I have a good chance of if everything was to line up and shoot him, then you'd have a good chance of killing him.
Okay.
I was a bit worried about Mephitic Blight Haulers, to be honest, with this one, because I think the Mephitic Blight Haulers are a good profile to kill them, though you're still winning on 4s. But at that point, you're close enough to them that you might just lose the Blight Haulers. So I was thinking about 6 Mephitic Blight Haulers, 3 squads of 2, and then I thought if you don't kill them, then they're just going to charge them and just pick up most of those Blight Haulers quite comfortable, I would thought.
I'm just going to load up TTS so I can build your list actually, so people can see it. So bear with me a second while I load it up.
Yeah, no worries. And then the Death Shroud, obviously...
Is it a 3-man? Will,
yeah, 2 3-mans,
okay,
yeah.
Nice.
And then the Blight Lords, just because I had some points and I thought it made sense to put them with the Lord of Virulence. I don't think it's bad, especially in Champions. I think it's actually not a bad little package because access to strats, if not necessarily in this matchup, but in a different matchup, the 2 CP to reroll hits and wounds it actually makes it quite a good unit into a lot of targets. And it is cheap at only 215 points. It's still 4 Terminators, and obviously the Lord of Virulence gets some ablative wounds to sort of suck up some damage and maybe sort of like make people think twice about shooting that unit. Or
I think the good thing is giving access to the T9 really, because then it just becomes like actually kind of annoying to remove that unit on demand, especially for how little cheap it is.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean that was what I kind of thought.
Read it out Predators... one more time, Will, just so I can assemble it for the people who are watching visually.
Of course. So. I'll just run through it in. So there's 3 Mephitic Blight Haulers solo.
So triple Mephitic Blight Haulers, yep.
3 Blow Drones with heavy Blight Launchers.
Yep. Let's grab those buggers. Yep.
2 Predator Destructors with las cannon sponsons.
So
as I say, they're the things that I'm not 100% sold on. 1 unit of Spawn, 2 units of Poxwalkers, both 10 mans of Poxwalkers, 2 Death Shroud with loads of Contagion attached, and then the Lord of Virulence attached to 1 squad of Blight Lords. And I think there should be, 15 points spare at the end. But there's no enhancements you can buy for 15 points to add any of those characters.
So I need some Death Shroud as well. So 2 squads of Death Shroud, So 2 squads of Death Shroud here. And then, what was it? A Lord of Contagion, a Lord of Virulence, Oh, sorry. It was 2 squads of Death Shroud, 2 Lord of Contagions, and then 3 Blight Lord Terminators,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, people who are visually watching, the list is now on the screen. I'll just find the Lord of Virulence model. There we go. So this is Will's sort of like anti-Catan list. So Will's going hard in on...
Champions of Contagion.
Yeah, Champions of Contagion. So some Las Cannons there. Las Cannons actually do okay into this. Like, normally would obviously... It's kind of a wash between Heavy Bolters and Las Cannons on the actual, like, maths front. But in this instance, it is one where... Against Catan, the -1 damage literally halves the damage of a Heavy Bolter. So they just... The lethal hits is nice, but the strength 12 is just going to come in far more useful. And yes, you do have to get past 4 plus invulnerable, but...
It's also the range, to be honest, because I was thinking with this kind of shooting list against Catan, you might just want to sort of have them sit in the corner and just be able to shoot, say, on the middle objective, where they can just get, like, multiple activations. Because I know their shooting isn't the greatest of range. They're probably going to shoot the closer threats. So 4 Las Cannons, maybe with reroll ones a hit, shooting into the middle. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be meaningful, because if it was a 48-inch range was the main reason to do it. But again, they could maybe it would be better as a land raider, and then
like the autocannon's not terrible either, because obviously the autocannon's problems like 2-up saves, but they have a 3-up save. You -1 to save contagion, then you have the -1 naturally. You take them to their invulnerable. So and that's again down to 2 damage from 3 damage, but that's a lot better than having 1 damage on there. So and it's strength 10, so you win on 4s, which is not great, but not bad. Yeah, and obviously you've got these big bricks of Death Shroud Terminators that will 100%, if you give them a little bit of CP investment, be able to clap him. Melter is pretty good against them as well. They don't half damage now, so anything that's like a Melter gun, anything like that, if you roll high, you get an 8 damage through, they're going to take 7. So someone was asking chat, and I'll let you explain it, Will, why the Destructor over the Annihilator?
Because the Annihilator, as much as it's great into Catan, or maybe slightly better into Catan, it's not that much points, and you only really get the extra 1 shot from the turret weapon. Apart from that, it's just not a great list. Because the other thing about this list is it would also have, I'm not sure how good a game, but have a game in the Victrix Guard list as well, because there's so much damage 3 in there, and you can kind of duel a little bit with their gun line behind it. So it isn't just. That was the other thing with this. It isn't just playing Catan. It's also got game into a couple of the things in the meta as well. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best list out there. Don't get me wrong, but it is something that I think it's got game. I think could be the best way. I think it's probably also got some game into Guard as well. Although Guard, I think probably just out OC and all the objectives and make sure you go no primary.
Yeah, Guard. Now I will say people are saying this seems like a VV list. I normally would agree, but the main reason to play champions in this is the capacity to get crit 5s full rerolls. Like, VV
to make the Death Shroud thing.
VV just doesn't do much damage to Catan in melee without the rerolls, because you're winning on 4s, you've got no rerolls at all. Your sweep is not that good into it because you can't fish for lethal sustains. Like that, you don't like the crit 5s and 4 rerolls makes COC again. This one squad here, 1 3-man Logitech will do on average 12 to a Catan after all saves and feel no pain. That's crazy. Yeah. Like, you come in bang a 6-inch charge. If you've snuck a Melter through or an autocannon through, you'll kill the damn thing, which is really big. So just be like deleted.
I would also say it doesn't actually. I don't think this would work in VV very well either, to be honest. I think Hammer it would also work, because in VV you don't really have a lot here spreading contagion, and you're lacking things like the Demon Prince and like the Plague Marines and stuff. I think if you were going to do VV,
you have no good strat to use 4 hit and wound on either, because like you're not going to use it on like some infantry flamers. You don't have a big Plague Marine brick. Yeah, I actually don't think this would be great in VV.
And -1 damage into your vehicles against a Catan. It's D6 plus 1 instead of D6
plus 2 on the Nightbringer, D6 normal on the Transcendence, and D6 plus 1, I think, on the Void Dragon. Yeah. I think
they're still popping your vehicles quite comfortably, even with the -1 is what I would be saying with this. But I mean, I think I get where the VV sort of comes from, though, because it does look a lot like the sort of like Alban list, which I have been running, just with some of the Plague Marines and the Demon Prince dropped and kind of just more guns just kind of forced in there. But I don't know. What any questions before we move on to one of your guys' lists, or is it? I think it's quite self-explanatory, really, and it's 2 units that hit hard, loads of guns.
No, I understand it.
Hope for the best.
My question would be: would you ever consider the destructors going out for carnivores? Because I know you like your war dogs.
Do you know what, mate? The more I've been playing the carnivores into Catans, I think would be interesting, but probably completely the wrong unit. The reason I've moved back and away from carnivores is they're like the Plague Marines. They're a once and done unit. They come out, they try and kill something. Sometimes just completely whiff, and they've got no in-run in combat. So you'll have one shot, and then if you don't, they'll just brush it aside and just move through it.
I must admit,
so I think
since they lost the weapon skill 2, I hate how swingy they are. Like, I understand the math says it's the same because it's sustained hits weapon skill 3, but it just doesn't feel it when you roll it. Like looking at like 3 2s in a roll and just being like, man, they would have all hit before.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you spike because you roll, 2 3 6s, and they all of a sudden feel god to you, but you go the other way and you just spike, get loads of 1s and 2s. I think the main reason I like carnivores, not to derail this because we'll go to your list, is actually on the UK TC terrain format at the moment. The little squares, they're really easy to stage and just get to objectives, and they sort of fix our speed problem. But I did find I was spending 150 points to sort of just run and stand places. It wasn't maybe the most efficient way to play the game. So but I don't think carnivores would be wrong into this. I mean, really, the shooting from the knights would be better. Like the melter gun shots, melter 4 is probably actually a better like sort of way to face Catan. But again, hitting on 3s with 2 shots.
It's the 2 shots,
and then when you're in melter, you're so close to them. Like if you've not killed it, like they're just gonna carve through that knight as if it's not there, which is the problem. Because they're looking to kill light vehicles, which admittedly this list also has. It's I've got to hit you first before you hit me, and if you hit me first, it's going to go really rough. But what about your guys anyway? So, which of you want to go next?
Do you want to go for it, Mr. Dave, or do you want me to do it?
Go on, you do yours first.
Okay, so I didn't want to do the same. My initial thing was obviously everyone's going to do champions because champions does like the most damage to kill them. And I was like, okay, let's try and kill them, but also like try and have a backup plan. So I actually done Taliban. I've been loving Taliban. Okay. So I'm still on that hype train. So let me pull up my list here. So I've kind of gone for like a mixture of hybrid. You don't want to play this on heavy boards, that's for sure. It's more for like GW. Spam. No, it's not actually Guro spam. There's a Guro, like don't run. There is a Guro. So very quickly, I have a Guro. The Guro is sword and little knife. Don't bother with the bell or anything like that. It's just the model I've got here on TTS. Then I have a Lord of Virulence with the Beckoning Blight. So I'll go and steal that from your list up here. So that is the aura of 6-inch deep strike for demons. Then I have a Rotigus. So I've got 2 fat boys. Then I've got 2 squads of Plague Bearers. I'll get into why this all been chosen in a minute. Then I have a single Beast of Burgle and 2 Chaos Spawn to go with that. So again, I do like the little combo of those guys working together. Then I have 1, 2, 3 HBL drones. So triple HBL drones still. And then I have 6 Nurglings, 3 Nurglings. So that kind of like combo again. 6 Nurglings, 3 Nurglings. Then I have 2 squads of Poxwalkers. Where are they gone? They're over here, aren't they? So 2 squads of Poxwalkers. Put them in. Boop, boop. And then I also have a Night Despoiler. So basically, the idea being here now. There's also a claim here. I'm not sure yet if you could technically drop Rotigus here and put in a second Great Unclean One standard with the Entropic Knell,
which is really good because you've got to remember his damage gets added on afterwards. So
not anymore. It's not. It used to be because now it's subtract, not half. So now it's you add subtract. So that doesn't do it anymore. Right, you are correct with previously though. But basically my idea was I'm kind of looking to outscore them on primary, and I just need to kill like 2 Catan, and then the whole game gets easier for me. So I've gone with the Great Unclean One because the Great Unclean One combined with Contagion actually is crazy on the damage profiles I've got here. So I've got a Night Despoiler with battle cannons. You could potentially take thermals, but I wanted to use the range to stay away. So same logic of Predator Destructors. strength 10. So strength 10, always is strength 10. Great Unclean One has his ability to -1 toughness, does stack with contagion. I'm making Catan T9.
Yep.
So now
Like it.
all of this is now wounded on 3s. And I have a lot of weight of shots here, all with flat 3 damage, which will go down to 2 damage. So the Despoiler is going to have his, what is it again? It is 12 plus 4 d6 shots, which is a lot of shots. All these guys got d6 plus 2. I've got a lot of villains to re-roll them as well. And obviously, these guys can obviously 6-inch deep strike from a Catan, so I can pretty much guarantee whatever it is I can follow with a charge and basically try and finish it off if the shooting doesn't do it. So lots of trying to start a line of mass amounts of damage 3 shooting, so that way I don't just get spiked on an invuln. I should be able to weight a dice through it, do a bunch of damage there. I have got a backup plans though of being able to out primary them. I've got 2 squads of plague bearers which can charge in. If you've got like -1 to hit contagion, for example, or some Nurglings in there, Catan are hitting on 3s, so I'm likely going to be able to kill 8 plague bearers as long as 2 plague bearers live. They've got 4 OC, Catan have got 4 OC. That's going to deny the point. Or at least hold it potentially even, because obviously I'm sticky objectives if I've got it. Rogus is OC -1 aura, so again, Catan now go to OC3, which means they can now be contested by a single Beast of Nurgle. Any of these 3 drones can contest it now, so a lot easier to deny primary there. Now, the reason I was considering the second Great Unclean One is because the -1 toughness is really big here, because the amount of like damage profiles it does change. So if I lost that Great Unclean One, I don't want to answer to it. But another reason for that is the Nightbringer is the only Catan that is over strength 12. The Deceiver and the Transcendence are all strength 10. Only the Void Dragon is strength 12. So if I have Great Unclean Ones, they're T13. So the only thing that will wound me on 3s is going to be the Nightbringer. So my entire list is basically designed to shoot the living shit out of the Nightbringer, kill him, and then I will just tag everything else in combat with Great Unclean Ones. Now, the reason I also want the Entropic Knell is because we say, well, chip damage isn't very good versus Catan because they heal. But the Entropic Knell says if you're missing any wounds, you must take a Battle Shock test. And again, they have so little things. If I can Battle Shock up Catan at -1, now it's going to be OC0, which means holding primary is going to be even easier. And there's a good chance if a Great Unclean One charges a Catan that I haven't shot to death, they're going to be there for a long time. Because he's wounding me on 5s, I've got a 4 up invulnerable and a 6 up feel no pain. I'm not wounding him very well. I'm wounding on 3s. I have like D6 damage las cannon swings, but I don't have many attacks. So the idea being like, if we're going to stand here, not only does my Great Unclean One out OC you, but if there's any Catan near him and they're missing a single wound, they have to Battle Shock at -1, so that could potentially make them fail it. And now Babushka, you know, they're OC0. I've got 2 waves of Plague Bearers to easily be able to drop in 5-inch charge and just take primary off people. I've made sure I've still got tons of screening with all these Nurglings, all these Poxwalkers, so there's no uppy downy Transcendent Catan that can sort of come and get my Despoiler out of nowhere. And I've still got scoring pieces. You know, I've got Beast of Nurgle that, again, if I really want to, I can have -1 OC contagion and just be like, cool, this Beast of Nurgle can like stand next to your Nightbringer and just be like, cool, you know, you don't kill me. And his little mortal wound aura won't do anything to it because, cool, you do mortal wounds to it, I heal back to full. Woo. Like, who cares? So the entire thing's basically designed to... I think it can play into other armies as well. There's still like a horrendous amount of shooting here. It leans more into the sort of toughness chonk aspect. So it's just like a gun line with 3 big monsters. 2 of them being Great Unclean Ones or Rotagus. That's the hard decision. It's like, do I want the Rotagus or do I want the second Great Unclean One? Because the worry, obviously, if I lose Rotagus... if I lose a Great Unclean One, the Katana back to being strength 10, T10, which is obviously a bit more problematic for the list. You could...
It makes sense, a second Great Unclean One from the way you've described it, to be honest. Like, I don't think... I mean, specifically into Catan, I think if you're trying to take this to a tournament, you probably do want Rotagus because you're not going to play Catan 5 times. But if we're putting the blinkers on and like pretending that there isn't any other list other than the Catan list, you probably would put the second Great Unclean One in just to sort of... Because it does make more sense, I think, than Rotagus in that matchup. Because do the Catan also not ignore the -2 move? Because it's vehicles and monsters.
They don't ignore that either. So they get tagged by that. So you can slow them down. They're not the fastest. The ones that got the movement boost are movement 8. Catan's movement 10, but like the small ones are 8. So they go back down to 6, which is great. And the idea basically being that after I've killed 1 or 2 Catan with shooting, I can just tag 2 of them with the fat boys, and they'll just be there all day. Because I'm T13, you with me on 5s. Like, yes, you will probably eventually chew through me, but Like, again, I'm going to keep you there. You don't have fallback shoot or do anything. You can't score actions. I'm going to be taking primary off you. Like, the idea has been to shut down Catan. So, like, it's a weird, like I said, it's a teams list. And yes, D-Hart, as Dave said, we will put these in the Discord later for you to look at. But I think this is an interesting aspect. And I do think it has a bit of play into other matchups as well, because it is still like an archetype of Death Guard. You've got primary control. Lord of Villains is just going solo. He drops in, literally can follow it with a Plague Bearer charge from 5 inches away, mark a target, blow it drone, shoot it. It's just, again, it's not really kind of like my sort of list that I'd normally play. But I did try to get a bit more of that tradey OC playstyle in there by having like the Plague Bearers and stuff like that as well. Like there is an argument to just drop it all and just be like match chunk for chunk, but I actually don't think we win the chunk for chunk. I feel like they outlast us in the chunk.
You
factor.
really run the risk of being move blocked in that. I did try 3 grit and clean ones at one point just to put it on the board, and they do just fall over each other to some extent on UKTC maps anyway, on the older ones.
Yeah, that's why I wanted like the pot to have like tons of infiltrated stuff to make sure I get that board presence. And the cool thing about the Knight is, as long as I'm screening out the 6-inch deep strikes from the Transcendent Catan, I'll always get the first shot on the Nightbringer, because the Nightbringer comes out to play. Like, he can't walk through walls, I can. So I will walk through walls. And also, the other thing I took this list for is, even if I can stay in those prolonged combats with Catan, I can keep shooting them because of the stratagem, where they don't count as being in combat, so I can just still blast them. Which is great for the Despoiler and the heavy blight launch drone. So if I do manage to tag one with
I think the Despoiler would work. It's just Death Guard units get to use the strat.
Yeah. So yes, sorry, you are correct. Oh no, I don't actually think it does. No, it's just anything. It's anything. I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
I will check it.
Sorry,
the Taliban stratagem. I'm pretty sure it just says. I thought it just says.
It's if it is all you want, that's a.
Yeah, I have a check of that one.
It's a massive boon.
Yeah, because if it can keep shooting, obviously that's brilliant. And yeah, like I said, the idea is like the Deceiver is also a big problem. I feel like my worrying champions of Contagion is that the Deceiver, if they're smart with it, with that Vector aura, makes the 3 CP combo 5 CP to kill a Catan. Whereas in this one, I don't spend CP. Yep. Like Taliban just isn't that CP heavy, so I don't have to worry about the Deceiver. The Deceiver is just a non-issue. I'll just be like, cool, I'm just going to shoot you to death. So yeah, hopefully the logic behind it is it not locked? Yeah,
it's not locked.
Sweet.
Because it's shooting in, right? Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's
pretty unusual.
That's my thought. That was my thought process behind it. So it's a mixture of I'm not looking to kill all the Catan. I'm looking to kill the one problem Catan, which is the Nightbringer. And then lock up the others, maybe kill 2, and then basically from there on, I'm just going to be like locking stuff up. And also, if any of those like Triarch Stalkers or Catacomb Command Barge shows its face for a single turn, the Despoiler eats it alive. Like the battle cannons into that without the -1 damage from the Catan and the feel no pain. Like they just go pop. Like 4 up invulnerable, don't care. Here's again 4d6 plus 12 battle cannons. Badushka. Get out of here. So that was my thought process. So again, right now we've got a champions list and a Taliban list. So hopefully sort of explain it there. If anyone's more interested in that, obviously message me in the Discord. I'll explain it better I can. But speaking of people in the Discord, Meds, you absolute legend. 10 gifted memberships there. If you just got gifted a membership, first of all, make sure you say thank you to Mr. Meds there. Absolutely legend. Supporting the channel, thank you so much again, as usual, you mad lad. But make sure you go to our YouTube channel homepage, click the See Perks button. There'll be a link to get yourself in our Discord. Get yourself in our Discord. Once you're in, you never get kicked. So Meds has literally just bought you a lifetime membership to the DRP Discord. So that's pretty cool of him.
Worth a fortune.
Yep, it is worth more than gold can buy. And once you're in the Discord,
it's only because you can't buy a YouTube membership with gold.
That is true.
Because you definitely couldn't get 3 quid with gold.
So yeah, just go in your Discord, go to your settings, connections, and link your YouTube to your Discord. And our magical bots should do the rest and unlock the channels for you properly. If you have any troubles, just message either myself, Dave, or Will on the channel, and we'll help you sort it out. So yeah, that was my idea for taking on this 5 Catan absolute menace. Is shoot the shit out of 2 of them, control the rest of them, deny primary, profit.
No,
D
yours
Hart as
seems
well.
a lot more
Oh.
thought out than mine, I've got to say. I feel like I should have put more thought into it.
D Hart 197, thank you so much for the gifted membership as well, mate. Really appreciate that.
That's
support.
really kind. Thank you so much.
And congrats to Kian Kumo for getting that one. So thank you so much to everyone that supports the channel. You're absolute all legends. Thank you so much. He says thank you for what you guys do. No, thank you for keeping the channel going. And we just do this because we find it fun and we love Death Guard.
Exactly.
Speaking of people loving Death Guard, I feel like I can guess one of the units in Dave's list, Will.
Yeah, you'll definitely get one of them.
The plague surgeon, yeah.
Oh yeah. And the Malignifier, the plague bomb, yeah.
So I tried to be I was obviously what I could have done is gone. 18 Death Shroud is part of the solution to this problem, but that was
at the end of it. We'll talk about that actually.
That was too obvious for me, so I haven't done that. I've actually done a Mortarion's hammer list. So
okay.
So what's quite nice is we didn't talk about this at all. So I'm glad we've come up with 3 different solutions, which is quite good. Mine is I also thought about holding primary and playing the game a bit. However, looking at this list with these units, I get what you're saying, Will, about trying to stay away from them potentially with things, but surely what this did every single game was throw them all at you and to get as much shooting in and then charges and then smashing up in combat. So I don't think you can stay away from it too long. And I don't think it's concerned about playing the primary game very much. But you still got to think about it though. So I went with, go on Aiden, put the first one down.
I'm going to guess it's a 6-man unit of Death Shroud Terminators.
It was Lord of Contagion, yes it is. You're absolutely right.
How did I know?
So you can put that one on there. You can also put a Plague Bus down.
Okay, I've got a Plague Bus.
It's an interesting one.
Yep.
1 and 2 Plague Casters. There we go. Yep.
You can put Mortarion down.
Okay.
That makes sense, yeah.
Now Morty actually does do the really good job of keeping them busy as well. Sort of like I was looking at Morty for my list. I won't lie, Dave. Because
you'll see probably where I'm going with this from pretty soon.
Okay.
Then I've got another Lord of Contagion in 3.
Okay. Yep.
And then Typhus.
I feel like I.
For the glory of
No, there's not another 3.
Typhus. Okay, Typhus. Yeah, Typhus solo. Yeah.
Yeah, Typhus solo. Then 2 Mephitic Blighthauler.
Oh, 2 2s. Like it.
Okay.
And then 3 10 Pox.
And 3 10-man Poxwalkers. Grab those. Bop. Yep.
That's it. That's 2,000 points.
Good lord.
Okay. You don't get much to when you take Morty in a brick or something.
No, you don't.
I've noticed. I've listened to I think it was a stats check thing, and they were talking about the Death Guards, what the lists were, and Liam VSL basically described the list without ever seeing it written down. He was like, he likes 10 Blight Lords with Mortarion, 6 Demon Engines, and the first time you put that in, you basically think you're left with enough points for 2 Spawn and one Poxwalk, and I was like, just looking at it, it just doesn't have. I was trying to change it, but they just don't. With that brick, you just don't have any spare points on his at the Demon Prince as well.
Jesus
but yeah,
Christ.
so you've gone for it as well. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thinking with this one is sorry, just Grey Cube in chat said no DLC. No, I basically was like, that was too obvious for me to do, so I've basically gone for basically what I wanted to do was have the ability to immediately from them being 12 inches away, get the immediate ability to pick 2 of them and put them into contagion straight away. And the other one I really, really, really like is to pick a terrain piece and everything within 3 is in contagion. That's it's a super powerful one, and just helps kind of get the extra kind of save off against these guys. Plus, I've got 3 units of Poxwalkers to either kind of hold my home or with 1 or string out and then sit on 2 other objectives, or to put Typhus with one of them potentially. But Typhus is actually kind of there for the drop in mortal wounds because yes, they've got a 5-up, but that's definitely some damage just going through without having to roll hit wounds.
Yeah,
unless you're on a 1.
Yeah, but like, but the average is you don't.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's 3 and
so
3 or 4.
and in the end of a shooting phase, you might be like, cool, it's got 2 wounds left, and Typhus just goes, pow, picks that last one off, like he always does for picking a dreadnought off or something.
Yeah.
The 6th man obviously is to drop down and go, actually, you are in contagion straight away. Or I pick that building, everything around it's in contagion, so you are. That lets me get the Death Shroud down, or I use the pox to just throw out to get contagion spread with an advance, drop them out. This list is basically designed for, in a couple of places, to tie up a couple of them, and in a couple of places, kill 2 of them. So this list is basically designed to like break them down and not have 5 of these things on the board. It's basically to go, I'm going to kill at least 2 a turn by splitting up the firepower and the melee, and basically go, and then have the ability next Morty to tie up something else, or to be up there for them to deal with, and then the next turn kill another 2, and basically go. You're not going to have any left.
Because
I think you go on, Will.
I was going to say one thing that's curious in your list. Why the plague bus then? Because I looked at the plague bus and thought into Catan's it was the wrong. Like I didn't think it was. I couldn't see how it would work. To me, it felt like it was the wrong option. But maybe there's something that you've seen.
It's in contagion, and you get them out, and you shoot the rhino at that, and then you get full rerolls to wound. And you've got 2d6 plus 6 with full rerolls, and that spikes. And you get, like it can -1 damage your 2s down to 1s, but you roll through that, and suddenly there's a lot of 2 damage in it. And if not, there's a load of 1 damage, and there's a high volume of it as well. And then you basically charge them in, and they've got D3 damage as well afterwards. So, and you leave the rhino to kind of either hold point, or it charges and it tank shocks afterwards. Like there's actually this is designed to try and whittle them down by. I think it can potentially do more, but I think it's designed to kill 2 a turn. And then that point, I've got Poxwalker sat on points. I'm holding objectives. I've also got Typhus to drop in, mortal wound, and potentially charge as well, or come off to stay on a point and then come through afterwards. There's a few waves of ability to attack. You're not worried about range because you can keep the 2/2 blight haulers off the table, bring them on from reserve. They're in range. They basically, have the ability to put tons of melter, crack missiles in.
Well, I also think, as you said before, Dave, that kind of list is running at you. And if it runs at you, it's then putting itself in melter range. I was just wondering then, if you really like, I think one of the cool things as well is if you played this and found the Plague Bus wasn't pulling its weight, but the Blight Halls were doing good, that Plague Bus straight out trades for 2 more.
Another 2.
Do you know
Perfectly.
what I think this could do with this at the Plague Bus? I'm surprised you didn't do this, Dave, because I feel like you are the man to do this. The Kool-Aid Land Raider. Because it keeps your 6 man safe, and you can smash through them.
I did think about it, but then actually, I think there's enough damage in here. To be honest, and the other thing, if you shoot, and if you just want to also enfeeble, you could enfeeble potentially 2 Catan as well. If you shot them in the shooting phase and didn't finish them off.
Can't affect Catan.
Oh no, of course you can't. They're They're but like I said, I think this list plus with Morty in there, there's some mortal wounds in various places as well at the end of movement phases. Which is just forcing you stuff. I think this list kills 2 a turn minimum. And then you basically go, fine, I lose some stuff back. Next turn, I kill another 2, and then it's done. Because you can't beat me on primary and secondary.
I think one of the cool things that this list can do is if you are against that list where it's 8 models, the picking 2 units to be in contagion is really hard because you're basically forcing them to move in units of 3 now. And none of them are infantry, so like even when they're together, you still get a gap in there because the models just don't have the ability to take up board space. So again, even if Dave decides I'm not gonna be able, and especially this 3-man here, what's the opponent putting on his home objective? His Catacomb command badge. You're gonna leave it there. Cool. There you go. Pick that. 3-man comes in, just goes and kills it. There you go. Home objective's gone. Yep. The constant threat of Hammer being able to just pick whatever unit you've left isolated or sent off on its own. Actually, quite clever. I do like that, Dave. And I also I know we were saying before Typhus and stuff, but I get what you mean. In this right now, let's say you had a scenario where you had a 6-inch deep strike go off on a Catan, and then you got Morty nearby to charge it. That's a grenade from the LOC, then Morty's aura, and if you're putting Typhus in there, yes, they will feel no pain, but that is potentially obviously max rolls here.
If you play an average, it's just 2 wounds.
Yeah, so it's 2 from the grenade. It's going to be 2 to 1 from Morty. And Typhus gets over 2. But so that's 5 mortal wounds for any shots are fired, which isn't good. And obviously spikes are spikes. And I think one of the things you kind of need versus a Catan. And what I will say, there's quite a lot of spiky things in this list you've brought here, Dave. After a certain point, if everything is spiky, you're kind of guaranteeing one spike is going to come. Do you know what I mean? Like if you throw enough lasers at something, one's going to roll a 6 on damage.
One spikes, yeah.
Yeah, and that could appear in the mortal wounds, so like Typhus 6 on the mortal wounds, or it could appear in like a Hall sneaking through an 8 damage shot. And yeah, I think it would. Like if I was the Catan against this, I am kind of scared to run at it. Like I'm not like for mine here. I'm scared to expose a Catan, but I'm not scared to run it down. Do you know what I mean? Like. That's why I've got so much screens. I've got like just stuff to just block movement as much as possible. But in this one, like if I was to run at this and like knew there was like a 6-man Death Shroud waiting to drop 6 inches on me, Morty's going to countercharge me, and again the list of the Catan doesn't have too much shooting, so like even if like they charge into you and like kill you, like you can fight on death with 6 Death Shroud, like. Yeah,
and that's the other thing with Morty in there. Morty lets you fight on death with them, which is amazing.
Also, reactive move is
and
huge.
then next turn, if they kill him, like he fights on death as well.
Yeah, reactive move is huge here, especially on the Mortarion boards, because they're all monsters. They have to go around walls. So if you ever get a reactive move through a wall,
back behind the wall,
they can't touch you. They have to go all the way around.
Can't touch you.
So
how does their going through wall strat work? Because they do have one going through walls. Is it just a movement phase?
I don't believe
it's easy. But it's easy to move block them, so they couldn't even get the base in there.
I don't believe they do have that thingy, do they?
There's a move through wall strat in the Catan detachment, I'm pretty sure.
Let me check.
I remember,
it might just be a literal in the movement phase one, though. It might not be a charge phase one.
Might be. It's got a big. I mean, the get is through the wall.
They have a better explode. They have some weird command phase thing. Not that. Not destroys and unraveling. Shoots, fights, rolls to hit and wound. Raveling falls back. They can blah, blah, blah. No, they have no way. They have no way to do it.
Oh right, it must be a different one. There's one of the detachments definitely lets vehicles move through walls. I thought it was a Catan.
That's Star Shatter, but I think it's vehicles only, which is not monsters. So I think.
Oh no, one of the new ones does as well. I thought. Maybe one of the different ones though. Yeah,
but this is in the Catan specific detachment, right?
Yeah, this was yeah. So you are right. Okay. So yes, you can. Hop
Johnny Combo in chat. The Mephitic Blight Haulers are in pairs.
Yeah, so
I was going to say with yours as well, Dave. Did you not? Unless I missed it, is there a Lord of Virulence in there?
Nope.
With the enhancement, I wondered with the. Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because if you down I just wondered with the enhancement, because obviously if he sits with the Lord, the Blight Haulers, it gives him a real one to wound, which when you're wounded on force might be meaningful.
So again, quick one for the chat, just to talk about it. The Star Shatter does have a move through walls. Catan cannot use it. It is monsters or mounted. Sorry, vehicles are mounted only. So
vehicles are mounted.
So if you come across any Catan and they ever tell you they can move through walls, they're chatting shit.
Yeah, and I think also the other reason I like the Blight Haulers in this setup as well is the lethal multi-melters.
Yeah, and also move through walls.
Yep.
You can stay safely from Catan.
Yeah, and the same for the Plague Blast, right? The Plague Blast can get through walls, then you can get out, and then you go, great, shoot with the Rhino, shoot with the Plaguecasters. Okay, how many wounds have I got left? Great, now I've got 2 Blight Haulers on one side, 2 Blight Haulers on another. Death Shroud then waiting to come in. There's also potentially bits of chip damage from 7d6 anti-infantry flamers. Like of course it's going to be 6s, but you get some of those through at -1.
But again, it's in combination with those mortal wounds, and it's that chip. It's that chip. Like Morty's spell, it's got dev wounds on it. You might chip 1 or 2 through there, and then you just have.
It's basically damage. Exactly. That's what I mean. I think this list has got the ability to sit on points and then just pick at a couple of them and just whittle them down, and then you finish them off in like combat. And then you go.
I mean, you need to whittle them and finish them in the same turn, but because it's hammer, you just pick a target, drop it on it, do it, kill it,
exactly.
Move on.
Yep.
That's really cool.
What it seems. If you could. So that was my thinking with it. Is you just basically it's running at you, or in this instance maybe it's trying to hide a bit, but hopefully you can see we've done 3 very different lists there.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we didn't actually come because we genuinely didn't say in chat what detachment we're going to do. We wanted it to be a complete surprise. So nope. I was worried we're all going to say champions and just crit 5 full rerolls everything to death.
I'll tell you what, because obviously we've done good. Should we also do some things we think might be traps? Because there was a few things that I thought about, and then I thought about them in more detail, like the plague means, for example, the 10 plague means. I'm not convinced that does much.
Just put it down. I'm just going to thank you very much to Tom Bolton for the £2 super chat, who says, "Do you think Plague Legion could be good into Catan?" So Plague Legion is the Nurgle Demon detachment. You've played a bit, Will, I think, haven't you? Interesting question. I mean, like I said, the Nightbringer is the only thing that really threatens like Great Unclean Ones super efficiently because he's strength 14. Like the board control aspect could be really good. I think it has a lot of battle shock capabilities, and again, like if Catan gets battle shocked, it's really bad for them because, again, like they can't even choose to like voluntarily fall back then because if you roll 1 or 2, you just
60
die.
Plague Bearers. If you took 60 Plague Bearers and 3 Guors, they probably would struggle with that actually. And then if you did Beasts too,
that would be pretty good. And
I mean, maybe it's even actually because they can't move through models.
No.
I don't know where the points go. If you just took
they have got fly. They can move over
scrying
models because they have fly, but
I know it's annoying.
But even then, 60 Plague Bearers is a lot of space. You can just block where they're going to land.
Yeah.
Like, especially with Nurglings as well that come back. Like, Great and Clean Ones can tank him. Like, I think it kind of goes back to something else. I think if the Plague Legion list kills the Nightbringer or has a way to deal with him, it's going to be real hard for them to sort of deal with the rest of it. Which is going to be quite interesting. And I think it will probably outscore because the battle shock's going to be brutal there. Every time a Catan fails a battle shock and they use a strap to do it on another one, and like if they have a turn with 2 Catan battle shock, that's really bad because like they could just go from having 15 primary to 5 just off battle shocks alone. Like not a single shot had to be fired, but because they're so low on units, you could just take them off primary that way. So actually, Tom, I think Plague. I mean, Will's played it more than I have, but from what I'm thinking,
much, to be honest,
I think it has legs though.
Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, I think you'd probably go Plague Bearer spam, and then I suppose to be fair, you probably have to in Plague Legion. You're not exactly sort of load of options. It depends how close you want to be to real Plague Legion. If you're going to start bringing in the other demon stuff and just have most of the army is Nurgle, but you're going to bring some like Khorne, maybe Be'lakor, for example. There might be something there. It's hard to say, really. I mean, Khorne demons smash Catan to pieces, by the way. Scarbrand literally just cleaves them in half.
Just eats one.
Yeah. But but they also cleave Scarbrand in half. So that they're Khorne demons versus Catan. It's literally like
who rolls best first?
just flaming them out at each other. So it'd be an interesting one.
So yeah, fair point. So going back to the idea of trap units, you were saying Plague Marines, Will.
I think the 10 Plague Marines in VV, I don't think they cut the mustard. I was thinking about it because all the damage just gets turned to 1, and I think you get loads of hits and loads of like damage too. But I think it's just you're not gonna kill them, and then the charge of Plague Marines is really whiffy, and then the Catan probably just, depending on which one it is, of course, might just pick all the Plague Marines up in one sweep, and then it's like 400 points of.
I think I agree with you, Will. I think definitely. I think the problem as well is VV has no way to increase the melee output, so you can't, like in Champions, if you want, you can bring out the unit, you can shoot a Catan, and then you can charge it, crit 5s it, and also follow up in melee with rerolls. VV, again, you are right. All the damage is in like damage 2. Blight launchers are neutered, the plasma's neutered, and also the other problem is the way we get around the damage 1, because like Deathwing Knights, I've killed Deathwing Knights with Plague Marines before, but what does a lot of the heavy lifting in that matchup is the Flamers, because they're anti-infantry 2 up, and against Catan, they do nothing. You wound on 6s, and that's it. Because you can't fish for lethal, because they're all hitting weapons, they're effectively like, they're just 6s with 4 rolls. So they do, like, your Flamer damage into, like, Deathwing Knights is pretty good, against Catan it is non-existent. So, basically, Catan's defensive profile completely neuters all the Plague Marine shooting outside of like melter guns, and if you get melter guns, you just pray you roll those 5-up crits. You basically just like, I'm fishing for them.
You have to pray.
Yeah, because even if you hit, you're going to need a 5 to wound again because it's only strength 9. Don't get me wrong, if you sneak it through, you could just be like, bam, there's some melter, take it to the face, finish it off with a charge. But it does feel, as Will was saying, I don't think the maths is great on it. Again, check out Zito's channel.
Brick as well. The Blight Lord Brick doesn't do much in shooting, to be honest. I think I haven't played the Blight Lord Brick. I know it does a lot of damage that people are saying. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't do it still doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as a Plague Marine Brick. But obviously,
I don't know about that one.
If the math just doesn't stand up.
The difference is on that one is the +1 strength. The +1 strength breaks so many break points. Your Flamers are now strength 6, they're wounded on 5s with 4 rerolls instead of 6s. That's
strength 7,
aren't they? The strength 5 base +1 to 6.
5 up to 6.
Oh, right.
That's why Plague Marines need 6s to wound, because the T11 Catan, whereas this pushes strength 6, now you need 5s to wound a Catan. That's important. And then your bolters have weight of fire and lethal hits, which can crit fires in like champions, for example. Which again, you just fish for lethals, and like Catan don't, and you get the natural AP as well because the Blight Lord rule. So if -1 save, you're putting him on the invuln with every single 5 up there. The Reaper all kind of has sustained devs, and you give it crit 5, so you're sustaining crit 5s, full rerolls to wound. You can just fish for dev wounds. It can actually I think it's one of those, the potential ceiling of Plague Marines is higher because melter guns exist, but I think average damage output
volume is
probably from the volume of Blight Lords. I don't think either are brilliant, like, don't get me wrong.
No.
But I think that there is a little bit more there. Now, someone in chat said, what are your thoughts on a melee Hellbrute? That could potentially be talked about potentially as a trap. A melee Hellbrute.
I mean, it's like a carnivore. Like it's the same that we've talked about on other videos. It's good because it fits a very unique role. You'll roll your dice. You'll either kill the Catan or you won't, and that Hellbrute will just die so easily in their turn, and then it's just gone. I mean, it's not terrible. Like, it's got a good profile into it in the same way that a carnivore does, but it's the no invuln in combat, and Catans are it just dies. Killing vehicles. Yeah. Like, you've got one chance. Yeah.
My question would be, why not just carnivore? Because carnivore, if you say you were going to shoot a Nightbringer and hope to finish it off with a charge from a Hellbrute or a carnivore, let's say you're shooting absolutely fucking whiffs, like super hard, at least the carnivore auto-sees the Catan. So you just don't charge it, you just decide to stand next to it, at least you deny 5 primary. Whereas the Hellbrute doesn't even deny the primary, and then he's going to die. So I think they're both super swingy, because you're not going to swing with a fist, because the fist goes, is it flat 3 the fist, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Flat 2 is not going to cut it, so you're going to swing with a hammer. No. That's swingy enough. So is it D6 plus 1? Carnivore's D6 plus 2, so it has a little bit more reliance there as well. Hellbrutes do wound on 2s, as Grey Q was saying.
Hammer's, there's a little bit of that. Plus 1. And you're also hitting on 3s, like to even hit with, like, and you've got, 4 attacks?
They think with double weapon they have 6.
Oh, they get, what is it? Yeah.
Is it plus 2?
Plus 2 to the attacks, yeah. If it's 2 melee, so if it was a fist and...
It's, but the problem is, again, they're super slow.
It's a wound on 2s, isn't it? Like, I think you'd have a chance of killing it to Katana. I wouldn't say it happens on average, but... Like,
you would, but it just dies back instantly.
Yeah,
like you get one activation. Like that's.
I mean, it's not terrible. Like, that's why people put them in hammer.
Yeah, you need to play hammer, because if he doesn't walk through a wall, you have the same problem the Catan has, but the Catan's faster than you, so it'd be like, trying to get to it's gonna be rough at that point.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. I mean, do you sweep or smash with your Blight Lords then in?
You Death Shroud, you mean, sorry.
Sorry, Death Shroud in Contagion.
Zio did the math. I think you always sweep.
You sweep except for the character, yeah.
I think if you are without any buffs up, sweep and strike end up averaging the same. If you have crit 5s, sweep takes over, and if you have crit 5s full reroll, sweep goes so far ahead.
Yeah, because that's when I played Knights. I used to sweep when the Chaos Knights and the -1 damage strat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I was just a curious one because it does. I was just thinking the Blight Lords. If you put the Lord of Contagion with them instead of the Lord of Virulence, use the strat for rerolls in VV specifically, and then Blight Lords. But again, you don't have any rerolls, do you? So you wound them on 5s because of the lance, but you're still only critting on 6s. And as much as you roll a lot of dice,
Lords are strength 6 on the melee weapons. Again, it comes back to the point you said last thing.
If there was, I thought there was strength 6. I thought I'd cracked something then, but strength 5.
If their rule works on the melee weapons as well, then that would be good, because that would be a big breakpoint again, because with the lance you'd wound them on 4s. It would make the shooting and the melee charge a lot better on the follow-up. But I think it's interesting. It's potential there, but I think again, I think the Plague Marines are just a bit.
I mean,
trappy.
Do you know what? We didn't talk about this, but this is actually the Poxwalker detachment probably actually is good in this specific matchup. 120 Poxwalkers is actually probably the kind of thing this list isn't designed to kill. There's something that's probably worth just mentioning as part of this. Because I was just thinking of the detachment. I was going to say, is there anything in Deathlord's Chosen, Dave, that's sort of like either a trap or worth mentioning, just to sort of...
Well, we didn't put I think we're more talking units, weren't we?
Yeah, well, just mean in general, because obviously to sort of keep the episode kind of like nice and enclosed, like we talk about some traps in other detachments. Maybe also just highlight a couple of things, you know, in detachments that we didn't do a list for, just so people could consider, or, you know, then it's.
I mean, I just think maybe people would look at going, oh, it's las cannons are what you would need here. But like I said, that's why I think something like in any detachment, taking the Predator Annihilator, I think is 3 shots hitting on 3s, like is no thanks.
Yeah.
So you hit twice. Maybe you drop a wound. Maybe
yeah.
you get lucky and get both wounds through.
Yeah.
Then 4 in
Yeah.
one bounces one of them.
And you lose one of them. And
You
one
deal an
goes
average
through,
of 3
and then
damage, and they feel
Yeah.
no pain. You do 2 damage. That's it.
Yeah.
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 And then to keep it rounded again, Flyborn Host. I can't think of anything that makes Flyborn Host stand out into Catan or anything else. Can you guys think of anything that maybe?
No, I think Flyborn's just not good in that matchup. I mean, stealth does nothing because Catan don't really care about shooting. You have no melee defense at all in that. You can't manage to wound in melee. You have a couple of impact mortal wounds, but like that doesn't do anything. Like, because again, you're not going to follow it up. I don't think Flyborn has much going for it in that matchup, I'll be honest with you. I think Flyborn has stuff going for it, but it's not in that specific matchup. I think Flyborn would be a bit of a mistake. I mean, the fella in America did 4-1 with it, so there's some strength there. But
Yeah, that was really good.
I do wonder if he did lose to the Necron list. Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to
maybe.
find out.
Maybe. Right, that's going to sort of bring us to the end here as we approach. We're over the hour point of this, so we're going to start wrapping up. So, anything you guys want to sort of like lead with? Obviously, Will, you've got an event coming up. Is it this weekend or next week? It's this weekend.
It is this weekend coming. I think we've kind of officially we haven't stopped selling tickets really, because it's a smaller event and we do have some space. If people reach out or want to come and play, either reach out directly. There might even still be tickets up on Element Games' website. I think we're going to maybe make the list public tomorrow if they're not already. But if people want to sign up, we are still going to accept signers, because it is a more of a casual RTT. It's one colour. One colour built and undercoated is fine for the painting. So if anyone wants to come to Element Games, Stockport near Manchester this weekend, there is an option to come and do that at the Stonehammer Bring the Ruckus RTT. But apart from that, no, there's nothing much to shout out. Plug-in wise, other than the usual. If I wanted to go get some coaching, where might I get it from, guys? To go back to the old school, where might I get some coaching, Dave? If I wanted to really, fine-tune my skills fighting Death Guard to Catan.
Well, you've just had it from us, but no. If you want some wider training, head to Vanguard Tactics, where Aiden is the Vanguard Tactics coach. We both play for the team. There, you can also just watch on their channel 2 battle reports a week. Really high production value. It's just getting better and better. They've got some new stuff out this year, and you can also go back and search for them if you want to see Aiden and I both playing on the channel as well, bringing Death Guard to Vanguard Tactics. There's now probably, I think, 5 different games on there in total, which have been a lot of fun to do.
Don't forget, Dave, we're still the second most watched video on Vanguard Tactics. Hell yeah!
Certainly are. I think our collective videos are well over 100,000 views now, so it's kind of like
It's pretty funny.
Back over to you, Will. If I want to go and get some Catan to be the annoying person at club, where do I get them?
Element Games, of course. Obviously everyone knows about Element Games online website. We do have an affiliate link where if you are, if you go, it doesn't cost you anymore. Just get a little kickback for the channel. Just helps us keep doing what we're doing. It is also worth mentioning as well, because I think some of these models, not that our channel's really full of Necron players, will sell out online on pre-order. The shop stocks in all the Element shops are separate from the website, so it is also worth popping into store, even if you weren't able to get one online. You might get lucky. I'll do my bit there and be a good staff member. But we have is it Saltire Games, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do us some nice objective markers and not objective markers, some gaming aids. Go, you tell us about that, Aiden.
Yeah, so check out our sponsor, Saltire Games, links in the description. They do all sorts of gaming aids, so this is like contagion reminders, contagion measurement sticks, deep strike markers, consolidation tools, all this kind of stuff. All DRP themed as well, so you can go check that out at saltiregames.com. And obviously we do have our own little merch store, Mr. Dave.
Yeah, just head on to drpstore.com. Hoodies, water bottles, objective markers.
Plague bus
if
objective
you,
markers, the best.
Most importantly, plague bus objective markers, which are really fun. I honestly, every time I put them on a table, people always comment on them. So that's been really fun. And yeah, and then so if you go there, and then finally our dice. So I was just rolling out some of our bits there into Catan. Baron of Dice are where you can get our dice if you're in the US. Please order from them directly. It's the quickest way to get them to you. If you're in Europe, I have rounded dice in stock at the moment, which we can ship from drpstore.com. I'm waiting to hear from the Baron himself when the next set of square are ready, and then they will ship them over.
Excellent. Nice. So that's going to bring us to the end of tonight then, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hopefully we've inspired you with some little builds to go and smash Catan players in the face. But always remember, if you can't beat them at the tabletop, beat them in the car park. Anyway, that's going to bring us to so thank you so much for listening, everybody. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, day, night, wherever you are in the world.
Yep.
And obviously, we're approaching the end game of Warhammer 10th edition, so things are only probably going to get crazier. Maybe we'll get something in the book. Who knows? Time will tell for sure. So
I think because we're getting a box set, I think we're almost certainly getting some rules. I think these box sets are going to be linked to detachments. I think.
You heard it here first.
But
I want to say,
but I think it's
very
logical.
quickly. No, you cannot reroll hit rolls with the spoiler with the LOV. Sorry, when I was saying that, I was in reference to these bloaty drones over here. They're just
drones.
them.
Yeah,
just them. Not him. That would be very busted. That would be very fucking busted. So yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, so please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Stay right on. Take care for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nobles rot I lay walls to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day.